partypoker.net European Open 4 is getting hot, hot, hot. The $500,000 prize pool has induced top pros to leave their luggage at home in a bid to be the next player through to the semifinals. On the table tonight, will it be the informed play of an Irish Poker Championship runner-up or the perennial class of a WPT winner? We'll see who can stand and deliver.
I think my personality comes across when I'm playing. I'm quite chatty, and generally I use that as a tactic. I'm trying to find out about the players.
Any poker tournament I play, I put my whole heart into win it. My goal is to be number one.
I'm just a gentle giant, really. I just stay in my corner, and I don't let anyone take any liberties with me, as most people don't.
I've played EPT, WPT, but nothing that's made for TV like this. For me, it's kind of a new thing. I mean, I've played a lot of sit-and-go type situations in the past, so I'm looking forward to it.
There's 72 players taking part in this tournament, and to get past them is always going to be difficult, and it's always going to be profitable, and it's obviously going to give your ego a boost. Like
playing like TV tournaments gives me a good chance because I've only got to win a couple of tables to win the whole tournament, but you never know the luck of the cards.
He promises good things through and through. A bit of class in the commentary box as well. I'm here with Ian Frazer. Chips on the table, 100,000. Yellows worth 1,000, blues are 2,000, and the reds are 5K.
What time to finish that?
600,000 in play. It's actually a very tough lineup. I mean, you're looking around here to, you know, there's 4 or even 5 guys here who would be one of the favorites in nearly any lineup you put them in. They're guys who are kind of used to the top tier of poker. Surinder's been on the top tier for 20 years, and
yes,
exactly what we're playing it much more
Unnerving
Pass. Pass. Call.
Yep.
Pretty conservative call there with the 8s, isn't it?
If only that we get
Well, yeah,
to see
that's
this
what
hand.
we've grown to see with Neil. You know, that's how he starts off. He won't be raising anything unless he's got a monster.
And I mean, it's going to be hard for him to find a flop without an 8, except for the 4, 6, 7 that he really likes.
He won't mind that.
4,000.
You have the 4. So
Yeah, 4. No, I can't now. I'm in the middle of a very important pot.
I don't know if you've ever seen all the poker verdict boys in the casinos, Jesse. They all got the same T-shirts on.
They all play the same?
They all look the same. They all got curly
Raise
ginger wigs and glasses.
This is aggressive stuff by McCool.
Marty's common sense.
He's a good poker player, and he's in good form. I wonder if he's you know, how used he is to this sort of level.
I ain't so sure Neil like that.
15,000.
It was just flat call. I ain't so sure he'll like that too much.
What a funny turn card.
There you go. I knew he'd only call.
And what's he going to do
Pair
on
it
the
up.
river if the board doesn't pair? He's being very honest here. Schrader's good.
Check.
Wow, that's
15,000.
I can't believe he's.
That's an odd sort of bet Neil's made, isn't it?
Mind you, it might be a bit of a blocking bet, Jesse. You know, he's no one's fool, Neil. He's a good, very good player. This might just be a blocking bet.
Yeah, but he was in position. He could have just checked.
Oh yeah, of course he was. Of course he was.
He must actually. Doesn't he? He must think that McCool's got something like 2 pair or something, or
3 8.
Of course.
Can't believe he come out and bet it. I thought he led out at it.
Every 5-card poker hand falls in the official ranking of hands. At the bottom is high card only. Better than that is a pair. 2 pair is higher still, and 3 of a kind is sometimes called a set. Straight is 5 cards in a row, of any suit. And a flush is 5 cards of the same suit in any order. A full house is 3 of a kind plus a pair. 4 of a kind is self-explanatory, and a straight flush is 5 cards all in a row of the same suit. Royal flush is the highest hand. That's a straight flush, ace high. McCool's shown himself so far to be pretty lively. I mean, check raising with the straight draw and everything, but I think he is a very lively player. He's sort of well known around the Nottingham scene these days.
Cool.
That was just a flat call, a pair of 6s. Ben will be pumping this up with his jacks.
Raise to 11,000 total.
What do you know about Ben? Have you played with him much? I know
No, not
over in
really.
Vegas. And
No, not really.
He's got a very well. He's well respected. He's got a big reputation for the cash games and the Omaha and that sort of thing, doesn't he?
Right, I don't know, Jesse. I know he was more aggressive years ago than what he is now.
Years ago, right? Yeah, he doesn't. When he was a kid.
When he was about 9.
Should work.
The raise is to 11.
Yeah, and he'll want to see a flop with these 6s. The most common pair to hit a set, this is.
No, it can't
Yeah,
be.
I'm telling you.
Cannot
I'm telling
be.
you. I run it through a computer software.
Check.
I do believe you're serious.
15,000.
Nick's got himself in a bit of a bind here. I mean, he doesn't really know much more than he knew before the flop, does he?
No, nothing at all.
You gotta kind of like the way Grundy played. He made sort of a largest raise before the flop, and it's made this pot so the pot's gotten big kind of quick.
I think an ace or a king comes here, and we might see a couple of checks. They're both trying to put the other person on ace king, ace queen.
No,
Ben's got to bet it again.
Is there any sort of hands Grundy can be worried about right now? You just gotta bet it.
Yeah, you can't not bet that with jacks, can you?
Mick, a lot of times Mick's a big talker during hands, but he ain't saying nothing now.
25,000.
Grundy's certainly got courage.
Well, now he must think that he's up against the bigger pair. You know, he must do now. He can't put him on ace king now. So does he want to have a go? I shouldn't think so myself. You know, because he puts these chips in here, Jesse, and now he's in massive trouble for the rest of the heat.
I mean, if he's putting these chips in, Ian, isn't he kind of saying that he thinks the 6s are good and he has to call the river? I mean, you kind of have to call the river at that stage, don't you? You're not calling to hit a 5, are you?
Well, who knows what's going through his mind. You know, he must know how Ben plays. He's not going to fire twice at this with ace king, is he? So, and he ain't going to have a lower pair.
All in.
He's called all in, look.
Wow.
I can't see him pushing him off this. Yeah, he's got a call.
Quick call from Grundy, and McCool don't like it. And of course you don't like it because it's not good. I kind of like the bet in the sense, the raise all in, but he can only get called if he's throttled, I guess.
Well, he probably thought the same as what you just said, Jesse. You know,
I couldn't dodge 2 outs last time.
how can he call this bet and hope to hit a 5? He can't think his 6s are good, so he's decided he might take the pot down there and then.
6 don't come.
There you go, and we got our first casualty.
Ben Grundy. Tell you what, this Milky Bar kid was 100 to 1 in the betting by the sponsors before this tournament kicked off. He looks like somebody who can play for sure. 29 years old and nearly 200,000 inches.
46,
No, he can definitely play.
There've only been kind of 2 pots of any interest, but they've both been massive. I think that's what happens when you have aggressive players match up. They just go to the hilt.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Two goes you get, and you're out if you don't win one of them.
Just over half of the first level, and Grundy has been the real story so far. Although Channing and McCool kind of shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah, it's still early doors, as you say. We ain't got through to the second level yet, but he's put himself in a right nice place. But
Lines up to 2 and 4,000, still 6.
No.
Right.
It feels a bit like a bit of a sloppy game, Ian.
Yeah, to be fair to the players, Jesse, they ain't really been getting nice cards, and Mick McCool's been making the most of what he's been getting, and Ben's probably picked up the better amount, and it's been out of them two, really.
This would be something like the 6th time Channing has limped. He's had actually hands that he could raise with if he had wanted to every time.
This is his MO in these tournaments, so Jesse, it's how he plays. You know.
Any pot that kneels in.
Exactly.
He doesn't mind the difficult decisions on the flop and turn.
That's right.
Yeah.
Or the
Maybe
river.
here.
Playing 10, 12 hours cash every day. He comes across these decisions probably 25 times a day. So he's well used to it.
Did my money on Saturday.
Did you really? See, the one night I don't go out.
I played
Definitely
bad.
has grown a certain amount of grass around his rear.
Deuce.
Deuce.
Deuce. Have club. Good club.
He's checked Phil Curtis into the nuts. I mean,
I'm chatting away.
Did Curtis just go all in? No.
8,000.
Look, and what's Neil going to do? He's got a pass, hasn't he? Look.
Good pass.
He better pass.
He's got top
Don't
two.
laugh, Mr. Frazer.
Top 2 pair, he's got a pass. Unreal. Isn't it?
My recent form has been pretty dismal in terms of cash games, which is what I normally do. I did have a very good result in December in Vegas at the Bellagio in the WPT. Came 23rd there for a nice cash, and the whole of December was pretty good. But this new year so far has been pretty much dismal.
Ideally, everyone wants to sit there until 2 people get knocked out, and then they start playing their normal game. You know, you relax a bit as well after an hour and a half. But that's in an ideal world.
16th, I'm going to Vienna first for the Spring Festival.
Pass.
Going back,
Does he say no?
Pass. Pass. Pass.
That's the week after.
For a limp.
15th of March.
For a change.
Yeah, no,
Try a limp for a change, he said.
I haven't played the Irish Open before.
Honestly.
What's he got?
I
Surrender.
don't know, but
Raise
he's.
10,000 more.
Now there you go.
Go and play.
Get a call.
I don't think I
The
can.
only
I mean,
thing
I wonder if Channing might decide to just
Where is it held?
re-raise all in.
Can't see how many chips he's got, Jesse.
He's only got about 50,000, and Surinder's made it 10 more.
It's at the City West this year, which is a
Yeah,
massive
you
called it,
Jesse.
complex.
You called it.
He's it's a nice little move because Surinder's not guaranteed to call, and or you think he is?
No, you're right. Surrender ain't guaranteed to call, but he can quite easily put him on this hand. You
Right.
know, when they limp like that, and it's king, jack,
Still on
king
that
10. He can put him on anything like that. So
Yeah, I do. I'm going to win some more chips here.
I don't think he'd be limping into his big blind with a pair bigger than 6s somehow. So he knows exactly where he is in this. I fancy.
Why do you say that? It just he wouldn't want
Like an
to
even $2 he doesn't make.
No, he'd rather pump it up a little bit.
try and make a little pop.
Yeah, you know, with his stack, he's got 50,000 chips. If he's got a pair of 8s, I don't see him small blind, big blind limping on him.
It's 34,000 for Surinder to call. He
You got something like a king
total
queen.
is about half his stack.
Something
I
like
mean, Surinder's
Jack,
got about
king.
90,000.
You beat that?
Yeah.
Well, we better get it on with it, haven't we? What you got, like a raggy old ace?
I think if I'm gonna go for eagle,
How raggy is it, your ace, anyway?
even when you raise this is
Good luck to yourself.
See, he knows Surinder exactly where he is. He said this is I'm in a race. You know, does he want to put the rest in to go
ready
for it?
for.
You make a case for both decisions here.
Yeah, it's
Get lucky, I suppose.
You never know.
Surinder seemed to think like you, and he completely ruled out the bigger pair, and
Called it, didn't he?
I was pretty well on the money there. I thought it was 5s.
they both knew what each other had. Why did all the money go in? It's a race, though. Channing's all in.
Hours of 6s any day of the week.
Oh, well, there you go.
That's a good
Surrender won't feel like that's the fair result, that's for sure. Channing hitting the pair, and they'll be back to even again.
Put a 3 of clubs out then.
Oh!
You didn't even have to wait for the river.
Wow.
I'm not in it.
I don't think I've ever seen.
What did I tell you earlier? What's the most common pair to hit trip?
Sixes, you're right.
It is coming.
Oh,
you don't believe me, but it is. I believe you now. I'll never question.
Neil Channing, he just never seemed to get going. I mean, he limped 7 times. I don't think he won a pot.
No, I thought he played all right, to be fair to him, Jesse. I don't think he done too much wrong. I know the two vary at the pass, but I think he played it right, really.
And the race, the money went in before the flop. The 6 on the turn. On the full house taking that Channing 2
It's really annoying today. I mean, it wasn't like I didn't get any hands. I just I lost a big pot to Mick McCool, which is a bit annoying because I kind of fancy my chances against Mick a bit, really, and I don't know, it just didn't quite work out. After that, I was looking to try and limp and re-raise all in, and nobody would ever raise when I had a hand, and finally Surinder did it, and then he called me anyway and won. So there you go, that was nice.
5 ways, and minus bad beat Channing we are here. Ian,
yeah, they had a
this will be kind of interesting to see how Surinder plays his big stack.
We sort of fancied it was either going to be Nick or Mick McCool was going to be one of the first ones out of the way there.
One
and
more.
was in all the pots. And,
Right,
unfortunately,
do something.
Neil.
Please don't
Let's see how we
deflect
go
it.
from here in.
I think Dixie's got some good banter.
Be careful what you wish for.
Don't flat call, because I ain't even looked yet.
Raised to 13,000 total.
I believe you get a hand every time. It's just me and you.
Well, Dixie's going to look
These are the sort of cards, Jesse, you'd
I'll
call
put one
with
this
as
time.
well.
Yeah.
I'll call.
Well, he is in position. And from what he said, I think he does suspect a little bit that Surinder's sort of after him.
We say walk still.
Surinder's got a big hand here.
Yeah, probably.
Go to dog.
Yeah.
They both look serious.
No, I didn't.
I got one out too.
Well,
Really?
Well,
Deep in the tournament?
No, but like still quite big pot.
They've both got the same thing.
I
Sort of
jack ace on
middle 10 straight draw.
and it must be in
And the guy
Surinder's
tomorrow
mind
has got past the
that
queen. Turn it
he's
over.
even money. Yeah, he's even money that he's hit
10,000.
this because
Yeah.
they're the sort of cards you'd be calling with, aren't they?
This is the first time Dixie stepped out of line, and he's picked a good time to do it.
Yes, right. Like,
You think that's 70
Cool.
early? It's a bit.
It's going to be a question of the second bullet, I guess.
yeah.
It's not going to be easy.
Surinder won't want to see a coin.
I was going to go.
450 and 18-year-old.
Wow.
How many times I called this queen of spades here?
Didn't really go.
No, EPT events.
10,000.
So they're good
Right
value
into
now.
him. So,
Apart from you
bit of a
get
dwell up.
in a field of 400, you get 200 who are betting put in.
Will he slow play it?
You've got 100 who
Well,
are
if he knew what Surinder had, I guess he'd just call and look at the river, wouldn't he? Put a big bet on
Even
the
the
river.
river,
But
stars are often good tournament.
I think he must just flat call now.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Otherwise he's made too much of it. He raises now.
Yeah, once they start.
oh, because of the Hollywood, you mean?
Yeah, Surinder's too long in the tooth for all that.
Players qualifying through the.
I think he must just call now.
On the turn with a nuts straight.
Surinder's
It's thinking he had quad eights on the ready turn.
clever.
That's what's 48 minutes in.
It'll be the first time he's seen this.
12 round package. It was only
Cool.
going for $20.
Yeah,
Good
nice
call.
bet, yeah.
But
And it's just a question of waiting this right on the river.
Yeah, there's 66,000 out there.
Surinder, and Surinder might bet it.
but I'm used
Yeah.
to him now, so I don't know the name. But that
he's
side
gonna.
of the band is massive.
Yeah.
If you travel a long way to somewhere, that's the worst. Isn't it? If you've travelled a long way there and then.
This is danger.
Well, if he's...
Check.
No, he's checked it. That ain't a bad check.
How much can Dixie get out of him? Can he get anything out of him?
30. He's got to bet 30. Well, mind you, he ain't got a lot, maybe 20 then.
15,000.
That's a nice bet.
It feels impossible for Surinder not to look him up here. Although if he was really bluffing, would he bet more?
Dixie's thinking, please push.
It's an odd hand because Surinder led at this on the turn, isn't it? I mean, how's he going to work back through this and figure it
Well,
out?
I think it's because it's so cheap, he's got to just put the 15,000 in, Jesse, and that's the end of it.
81,000 out there.
He'd be double pleased with this, Dixie. He gets another 15 grand out of him.
Where do you come from?
A lot of players would have raised that on the turn and lost their man, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, he's thought about it well. You can tell it, you know, it was in his mind. He wanted a raise, but he don't want to lose his customer. He wants to nick a few more chips, and the time it took, and then he just flat called him, was a good play.
Surinder's gotten very unlucky on the turn. And,
oh, well, if he goes for I can't see it myself.
He's a great decision maker,
Yeah.
Surinder.
Well,
I mean, he's not beyond passing this, but it does seem so cheap.
If he's putting Dixie on a king.
I'll let you have it.
Yeah, nice
Wow.
play. He's a good player. Nice play.
Good player. He's a
You know, in his
good
mind,
player.
if he's putting Dixie on a king, can he get him off it? So.
25 years ago, they said Surinder was one of the best in the world, and there's been a lot of other world-class players have come up since then, but it's not like Surinder's lost anything. I mean, he's...
No, well, it ain't like you got to go down the gym every day to play poker, is it?
Well, I'm from South London. Play 3 or 4 nights a week, all around London, Brighton. I haven't played in any TV tournaments as yet. This is my first one, so I'm a little bit nervous, but, which I didn't think I would be. But, so, touch wood, everything goes to plan.
It felt like this heat was going to be sort of a long, drawn-out affair, but now you feel like the blinds are going to go to 3 and 6 pretty soon, and it's going to be kind of a pleasure to watch. There's going to be some good play in here.
Yeah, but the way they're all playing, it's all a bit cat and mouse.
Yeah.
So.
You're right. But we've seen
Oh, okay. That's good.
Well, 25 tips.
Oh, well, I'll check it out then.
got to set up for some good poker here. I mean,
I didn't realise that they had those kind of games going. I mean, I normally play those kind of levels on full tilt and on the other sides.
Price 15,000.
and I was going to say, Grundy, if he believes McCool, will be aware that he limped in with a deuce 5 before, but he's actually got the ace here, don't he?
Yeah, but he's got to be careful, Mick. He ain't got that many chips. You know, all of a sudden he hits after flop, and then he's involved again for another 15,000. You know, you got to draw your line in the sand now.
Grundy's raised 15.
Yeah.
And there's only 8 in there, so he's actually bet twice the size of the pot. What does that look like to you if you're Mick McCool?
Looked like he wasn't looking.
I'm all in.
Cool.
Wow.
So the over bet looked weak.
Yeah.
The over bet absolutely fooled him.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm late.
Like I said, he's obviously knows he's stacked there, Mick, and he's drew his line in the sand. You know, there's no point calling there. Then he has to call the flop, so he's had a go.
How did that happen?
Well, talked you into it. I still don't want it.
No,
I still don't want it.
I love it.
It's sort of a reverse trap. I mean, Grundy's playing on a fun level here, and I don't know.
Go on, get me
McCool,
steaming.
Clubs will do.
You won't steam, surely.
I will.
Oh, that's a...
McCool's all in here, and he's not liking this. He had just got himself back into the game.
It's going to be bad until the river.
But I guess this is the pros
Yeah, but I'd
and
have
cons
preferred
of
to
this
get a
game.
king on the flop. Would have been better.
Can't even pick up
Ace.
a flush or anything.
Oof.
It's looking bleak.
King or 3. Or Nottingham bound.
Next time.
Yep, you're right. That's the
See
end
you
of
there,
it.
guys.
Nottingham today.
See you there, John. See you there, Ben.
He's a fun guy to watch, but really he got absolutely throttled there by Grundy.
In Japan they call it Ari Kari.
I played an aggressive game, which is my game. I went in with King 3 against Ace Jack after Ben Grundy had said, go all in and I'll call, you know, which I thought, you know, was a bit of weakness, which it was and it wasn't. You know, Ace Jack's not a great hand. I had King 3, had 2 live cards, and I didn't hit, and that's the way it is.
Well, I think we've only had 1 flop out of the last 10 hands. Maybe it's that part of the game. It's a fun part of the game, but there's a lot of head games going on, especially because if you're at the table,
Raised to 25.
you don't see anybody turning cards over.
Yeah, plus also, Jesse, when you're only 4-handed, you know, the odds of 2 of you or more picking up decent cards out of the 4 are very remote. That's what, you know, a lot of players forget this. You know, you're probably only about 70% that one of you pick up a nice hand out of the 4. So
Grundy spent a little bit of time in the tank, a little bit of time looking at Curtis, considering his options. It's 20,000. He's on the button.
I think if he puts in a raise here,
Raise.
it'll be the,
Raise.
I don't think this guy's capable of passing ace king here. I think all the chips will be going
Still
in.
want to go shopping?
62,000 total.
Well, he's made a raise the size of which Phil can make it. Oh,
There's your chance
that
for the
was
treble up.
90,000 more. It's going to be a.
Jesse, he's
Yeah.
100%. He's all in. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but if he ships it, it may not be an automatic call for Grundy.
No, neither do I.
I mean,
I can't see him flat calling with the ace king. And I can't see him passing.
Give him whatever he wants. I'm all in.
Pass.
Told you.
You raised.
Yeah, you're quick now. Does Grundy is Grundy pre-planned what he's going to do here? Has he put Phil Curtis on something exact?
He'll definitely pass.
Too big a chance there's a bigger pair?
How much more is it?
Pair of threes. What's he putting the other guy on? He's got to pass.
That's, it will be quite a big pot if he calls, I'll tell you that much. I mean, Curtis is delighted because the fact that Grundy hasn't
92,000.
called already means he's...
Of course, he's feeling good, isn't he?
No insta call. That's good news.
There you go, see? He's just reiterated what you said.
Oh, it's around about 100,000 to call. He's getting 2 to 1 here. And he's only...
The thing is, Jesse, he might be getting 2 to 1, you know, and he could think he's a 2 to 1 dog, but if he's wrong, he's out.
Right.
That's his tournament, you know. And don't forget, they're playing for second place as well. You know, 100,000, you know, he's still there.
So ship it to Phil Curtis, who's going to take the lead here. 26,000. And it's fun to win those hands with ace king.
Of course it is.
Taking 60,000 out, and you don't even have to turn your cards over. You don't have to survive a flop, turn, and river. Surinder, of course, was an engineer. Graduated when he was in his younger days. He's graduated from a very prestigious college, and oftentimes you have a drink with him at the bar. He says, "I wish I'd stayed an engineer."
20,000.
Raised to 20,000 total.
Nice.
I think it's it. Well, he's going to get a call. The worst one. He re-raised with ace jack last time. Surinder bet into him. I remember on the level 2.
Pass.
Yeah, he's
Pass.
passed.
Wow,
it,
what respect. You can see what kind of image Dixie has
Oh,
built
look
for
at this.
himself.
All in.
But
Yeah.
Raised, all in.
I knew this began all in with this fella. I'll tell you what, he had a bit of 5th sense there, Phil Curtis, didn't he? He's got out of that.
Yeah.
I mean, we know Dixie's going to pass.
Just trying to figure out about that. Is it probably because ace jack is you hate to run into a buzzsaw with ace jack like this.
Yeah.
Pair of tens is a much different spot, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is.
But this is
I think you're just being bold.
Hmm?
I think you're just being bold.
so this is Dixie spending
Cool,
time
then.
trying to.
I'm happy either way.
It's brash.
I would call me.
You would call. The Milky Bar kid is strong and tough.
But only the
Ace,
best
ace
is
9,
good enough.
I call.
You can see part of his success. You know, there's there's a certain element of there'd be a certain kind of person who would just start to see red. And he's talking to.
He's definitely not calling Dixie. He's just going through the motions. He don't want him to think that he, yeah.
Pass.
Of course he is, but I mean, this kid Ben Grundy is pretty good at the egging people on, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's got a little
Well,
wind
you
up
saw.
there.
I mean, we ain't heard a word out of Dixie. As soon as someone has a go at him, he's straight back.
Surinder he's kept his chips within a double up all night. He's a good protector of his chips, that's for sure.
Pass.
He seems to get gifted a lot of chips, I've seen, because he sticks around and sticks around and sticks around, and then all of a sudden
Don't be silly.
someone will gift him a nice big
He
top.
already told you he can't help himself.
I sprained myself and raised.
Phil Curtis has hit the front here,
Now
Jesse.
what?
You know, he's got 226,000 and he's just passed King Jack. We see him pass the Ace Jack. He's obviously got a game plan that he's going to sit around for a little while now.
Twice Surinder has raised Dixie's big blind. This time he's just limped in. If you're Dixie, I mean, you're not putting Surinder on an ace here.
No, you're right.
There's no way you can.
No,
you know?
And he'll probably think this is a nice flop for him, Dixie.
6,000.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, he's probably not putting him on the ace, and he's hit second pair.
18.
Raise to 18,000.
This is he's announced 18. I think he got the colors of the chips wrong, perhaps. But 6 plus 12, and this is going to get interesting because I mean, you know, Dixie's opinion that Surinder doesn't have an ace. I mean, he can. You know, it's just a question of if he's willing to change his mind, because it's a really clever play Surinder's made here, isn't it? He set this up several hands ago.
Now all he's got to do is work out in his own mind. Did Dixie just flat call with an ace?
Right.
That's all. And if he can put that, if he can assure himself that he hasn't, then we could be seeing another raise here. Good, interesting hand.
Yes. Just shows you the levels on levels that go on here. It's not just about this one hand, is it? It's every hand they've played together tonight.
That's right.
And they've played, I think they've played 4 or 5 together, small blind, big blind.
But I think if he gets it in his mind that he's not, yeah, you see, if he gets it in his mind, he's not going to put Dixie on an ace, whatever, then he must raise it. You know, and then let's let the cards see what happens.
Can't put you on an ace. I think you'll raise him an ace.
It's a real tough spot, you know, because
Surinder feels like he's top of the tree now, don't he? Yeah. You know, he knows he's obviously got a pair, and he's paired one of the other two with a running card.
Well, like, I mean, think about this from Dixie's point of view. I mean, the play Surinder's made, you know, if Surinder had something, I don't know, like a pocket pair above 7s or something like that, he would never have made this all-in move. It's got to be an ace or a bluff, doesn't it?
Definitely.
I mean, it can't be anything else but an ace or a bluff.
Definitely, Jesse. And I don't even think, you know, if Surinder was up and down here, I don't even think that he'd push all in. He would just call the other 12. It was 12 more, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, if you know Surinder's game, if he's up and down there, just say he's got 8, 9, whatever.
Definitely raise with an ace. Definitely raise with an ace.
I don't think Surinder would push with an up and down. So, like you just said, he's got an ace or he's in trips. He can't nothing else.
You can get an exact count.
Yeah, can you?
Yeah, if you wish to.
That's a 15. That's what I can see myself.
It's a big pot. You can see the pickle Dixie's in here. I mean,
Don't bring me into it. I didn't do anything.
You can see the pickle Dixie's in. There's just a question of whether he's.
I'll call.
Yep.
Call.
He's decided to call. He does not believe Surinder has an ace, and Surinder's got the ace. This is what makes Sunar a world-class player. And I mean, he set this play up twice before, and Dixie did.
Yeah,
nice.
you're right.
I mean, it's. Dixie's actually shown a lot of guts here to go with his instincts, you know, to back up his. But he's in trouble now.
Got to be
Big trouble. Needs a 7 or 8.
Make it exciting. Yeah.
Cool. Come on, baby.
Always.
Come on.
He can always get out this way.
Give him 8 more.
A 4.
4, 9, 7, 8.
Oh, that's it.
4, 9, 7, 8.
It's a big pot for both these guys. It's Dixie all in, but Surinder's
You'll
only
hear a
got...
bit of a cheer if this
only-
comes in. I promise you that.
Get in there, you beauty!
Told ya. I told you.
Got more than me?
It's close, I think.
I told you you'd hear a cheer.
Get in there.
Oh, Surinder.
He's tapped him on the back, nearly knocked his lungs out.
Oh, that's taking it hard. Tell you what, he's played that so well, Surinder. It was a great TV hand, Ian.
Fantastic.
You know, I mean, obviously it was just top pair over second pair, but there was a lot of psychological games. Bet, raise, re-raise, all in, call.
Yeah, great hand. I mean, when the 8 come, I don't know what deafened me the most, Dixie's shout or the shout from the green room. He's got a few supporters with him today. It was tremendous, yeah. Real good hand.
And for Dixie, it's onwards and upwards. For Surinder, just another day at the office where the cat got loose.
A couple of nice hands back to B. Go as one. Couple of nice hands back to back, Jesse. Can be in it.
Are you all in with this 24 if you're Surinder?
Yeah.
Just to pick up the 9?
Yeah, but I've seen him. He doesn't do it. He don't. You just saw him now. He kept 2,000 behind last time. You know, he don't necessarily push them all in, but I think he's got to here.
All in.
Yeah, 24.
You know, he's thinking if he just gets one call
Pass.
and he wins, he's all right.
How much is it? Sorry, 24?
24 total.
Is this an automatic call here for Phil? I mean, how do you think about this if you're Phil Curtis? Do you really even need it?
Listen, one person on this table you don't want to be doubling up is Surinder.
Cool.
He knows how to play a short stack better than Stuart Nash.
Pass.
You know, you
Better
definitely,
than Babe the Blue Ox.
yeah, you definitely don't want to be doubling this guy up. I promise you that.
It's okay.
Curtis, percentage-wise, looking like a very marginal favorite here. But I don't know. Surinder hasn't exactly been blessed by the gods this evening so far. All in, 54,000 in there.
That was pretty.
And
I like the
that's
first two I saw.
lots of outs for the 10-jack, isn't it?
Well,
No complaints here on the flop.
Let's,
Deuces and threes.
I'm hoping he dodges these.
Put a heart just for more outs.
I'm hoping he dodges
He'll
all
definitely
these.
dodge the turn, but the river's another story. That'd be fun to see, wouldn't it?
Now 3, and he's home and dry.
8, 10, Jack, or King.
Oh, Jesse, don't.
Those are the cards that unlock Surinder
It'll
out.
probably be the
Hey,
8.
Surinder's my hero.
Oh, there you go. He's out.
He's out. But
All right, man, good game.
Eddie, he's played his Sunar's game. It's quirky, but it's classy, isn't it? Last hand for Sunar, sort of tortured. Alive till the river, and then the jack, of course. Pair of jacks taking him out, pair of sevens, and we're 3 ways here.
It's always feels bad getting knocked out any tournament, but when you don't do anything wrong, it feels even worse.
Ben Grundy, he's played a good game today. And he's
yes.
I've never seen him play before. I think very, very impressive.
Yeah, yeah.
What's he got?
What would you do with that?
Go on.
All in.
Is that not lucky?
No, look.
Grundy's was that. I don't think.
Pass.
As usual.
I think Dixie's calling, and he's going to have at least one over.
How much is it?
So at least one under.
I don't know why.
50.
It's 5 something.
If this is me, I wouldn't even call.
Oh,
I wouldn't, because I mean,
he doesn't
Ben at
want
the
to double
minute-
this guy up.
No, you
Yeah.
never double up.
Do you know what I mean? Ben with 100,000 can be
How much more?
dangerous. How he is at the minute, he's on his back foot. We know he's in front, but I wouldn't want to give him these chips.
Yeah, but it's going to be
Alright.
more the next time, isn't it?
I got no hand.
You've probably got the best hand at the moment.
I don't know about that. You saw my hand, didn't you?
Yeah.
I picked it up. I mean, it's Phil.
You have got the best hand.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's okay.
Mate.
Yeah, these things happen. I don't know what filled it. Anyway, there's 103,000 in there. I think he just decided, well, just try and take this kid out. As it is, Grundy needs help.
Yeah, of course he does.
Oh, I see it
Well,
set.
there
Ooh.
it is, look.
Darn
Interesting.
right. You felt it, didn't you?
See if you can make him 2 pair. I'll put a spade up there for an extra sweat.
An 8 would actually make a straight here for Curtis. A 9, of course, would make him a higher pair.
That's the idea, wasn't it?
Those
Go
are
on,
the
get me out my
cards.
misery,
Spades
please.
would help. Grundy's going to be
More
back
X.
and dangerous.
That's
There's a spade.
that's no that don't help Curtis at all, really.
It just
No 8, no
makes it a
8.
little more interesting. That's it. A couple
That's right,
fives.
because that kills my 9.
9's okay now.
Yeah, it's no good.
Oh, that's right.
5, it's a 5 anyway.
Well, it's
Five
got to
or
be in the
not,
middle
no
if
X.
it's if it's not the 8s win, 7s win. Excuse me. And straight. That's a
Ten
straight.
doubles up,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a straight for Grundy.
So now it can be dangerous.
Right?
You're going to have 103,000 now.
I'll live with that.
I bet Dixie's pulling his teeth out.
You know what? I think you're. I think
And
you're
that's-
right.
Yeah.
So I've got not much more, 20.
I should have been in good shape if I come in there too, and I
I
can
can't
come
see
in with my
Dixie
hands,
playing
so
this hand.
14,
Could go either way with that.
It's an ace, but
25.
you know, if Dixie folds here, sort of Curtis takes him on with any 2, doesn't he, or any 2 that aren't 2 and 3.
He might be in the mindset
saying?
to
Limp in and check it down.
That's right. Yeah.
I think Ben's got about 40,000, which means he'll have about 25,000 back.
So he's got 42.
It's I should say, for someone who
pass.
hasn't been in this
Pass.
situation before, it takes some thought.
I've got a nice hand.
Yeah,
I'm worried about
worse.
you. I'm worried about you.
Good job he
No one's
passed.
ever worried about
He's
me.
gonna be
I'm
well
on.
pleased
Yeah.
about this.
See?
Oh, good job he passed.
Yeah, I don't know what Grundy hadn't even looked
Oh.
yet. Can't imagine it beats
Disaster.
queens. I think he'd be
Okay.
satisfied with an overcard.
I had an ace.
Ben has gotten out of some tough spots tonight. This one,
Ooh, I thought it was 2-4. I
I
saw the
did-
4
I
and the
did it
small
again.
one. Big sweat now.
I'll give him a sweat.
he cannot
Give him
get
a
out of
five.
this.
Give him a
He
four.
cannot
Five.
get
I
out of
don't
this
think
hand.
so. I don't think so.
5 of
somehow.
clubs, and I got a redraw.
I can't see it, Jesse.
Oh, that makes life tricky.
And yeah, that's, as he said, is taking a
So a
couple
couple.
outs away from him. It can't be a club here. It's got to be, geez, I don't know, the deuce of spades or the 4 diamonds.
Yeah, that's his opening part. And we're now heads up.
When the blinds get to like 7,000, 15,000, and you only got 100,000, then I'm basically pushing in with nearly any opportunity I get when it's folded to me. So you just got to, at that point, you've got to get lucky, and like, hopefully you just basically either stay ahead or get lucky if you're behind.
Finally reached the heads-up stage. Both players, of course, guaranteed to have another go. Either in the semifinals or the turbos, but Phil Curtis, 460-odd thousand, 3 times as many chips as a competitor. But Doggett does not even begin to describe Dixie Dean, and he will be in the land of cotton if he can pull off this upset here.
Jesse, I don't fancy Curtis one bit.
And Phil's managed his stack very well tonight.
All in.
Fall in.
Come on, Dixie boy.
Oh, don't. Mind you, he'll be live if he calls.
Tough hand to fold, isn't it? Or is it? It kind of depends on how you feel. He hasn't really been excited to get his chips in second.
The worst thing is he keeps on seeing 5 deuce and 7 this and 8 that. Do you know what I mean, Jesse? So when you see Jack Queen, you think it's a
Well,
it's
not only that. I mean,
it's
there's
a playable
yeah,
hand.
There's a reasonable chance Phil could have moved with a lower queen or lower jack, Jack 10,
yeah,
Jack
King
9.
Jack,
Doubt
Queen
it.
Jack.
No, yeah.
He don't need to, does he? With his
Right.
Good luck.
advantage.
Yeah, you too.
This is the big one for Dixie. Everyone's a big one when you're all in.
Nice in the
Queen
door.
or
Gotta
Jack.
be.
Curtis looking to seal the deal to the semis.
Followed by King 10, no doubt.
Come on, son. Jack Queen.
Eee.
Aye, aye.
This is where the can of worms
No
could be
pain,
opened.
If it's not an ace, at least make it a spade.
No jack now. No jack now.
Oh,
God,
double
you didn't
square.
miss.
That's not a good card for
No
you.
king.
You're well versed in the,
Oh,
the
nine.
creative ways to get
Well,
runner. Huh?
We know, don't we? We know.
Ace, 9, or king
Pair the ball.
are the
Come on.
exit cards for Dixie. Anything else, and he's a double up man.
Pair the ball.
Any old 9.
No, ace is no good. Pardon me. Just 9 or king.
There we go. Now we got a game.
Sure.
Well, he's been a good survivor, this Dixie Dean. I tell you what.
I think he's played
You
great.
hit every one when you
Right
got
through
your
the
money
heat.
in pre.
I mean,
You hit every flop.
60, 80,
When
90,
Sherman went down to
102.
Georgia,
102.
if Dixie Dean had been there, I think he would have turned around and gone
That's
home.
right.
Bernard Breslau, you mean?
Sure.
Cheers.
Looking at the leaderboard, I mean, sure, Phil Curtis nearly has a 2-1 lead, but Dixie's probably got a better frame of mind because
Sure,
Curtis
yes.
had a lot more.
He thought he was out the door,
Yeah.
you know, a little while ago. He's got to be feeling top of the tree at the minute. Here, call again with these.
Cool.
And that call for 10,000 because the blinds are 10 and 20.
See, he wants to push, Jesse. I can see this. He does. He wants to push.
Yeah.
Raise 40,000 more.
No, he's raised, but he's normally all in, isn't he? With these, you can tell.
And the problem with that raise of 40,000, I mean, it's a big lump for Dixie to call, but he'll be in position and looking at a flop.
Yeah,
You know what? I mean,
cool. I think you're cool. Yeah, here you go.
and if Phil doesn't hit this ace, it's going to be an ugly old flop.
Sure.
And is he going to check or is he going to lead at it?
Well, we've seen him lead at it. He'll lead at it.
Well,
This is what he's done before, hasn't he?
That's not an ugly
Come
flop
on.
at all.
All in?
Yeah. See, he ain't hitting no flops, is he?
Top pair and flush draw. I mean, he's a favorite over any 2 cards, isn't he? Certainly those
Pass.
2. Yeah, this is a big moment for Dixie. He's got 88,000. I mean, perhaps if it was horrible, he could.
He's got a king. I think that's enough.
If it was horrible, he could let one go. This is not horrible. This is a face card.
All in.
Yeah,
All in?
got to.
Oh, look at this.
Cool.
And cool.
And Dixie has got to wriggle out of
You're
another
king,
one.
are you, eh? Oh, well.
This one's tougher to wriggle out of.
Yeah, it's mind you, I say if this is the end, this has been a fantastic
Tended to
heat to
hit when
watch.
you need it.
It really
so
has.
this
Hope
is-
so.
in this-
You know,
I'll tell you, a battle of
that's a
attrition.
rock
I mean,
I know.
you know, when you think of who these guys have
gotta
come
hit the
on
one
top
you
of, I
need.
mean, Surinder Sunar and the Milky Bar Kid
Yeah,
both
yeah.
were like moss on a wall. You know, I mean, you needed
Yeah.
to bleach to get them off.
Neil
and,
Channing.
Nine's a good
you know what I
dog,
mean?
huh?
Yeah.
I've
Taking
never been
requests.
so tense watching a heat before.
Ooh.
Go on, a diamond.
That is nice.
Oh,
That is nice.
No, you're
Come on.
kidding me.
That's nice.
You got to be. There's 172,000 in this pot.
9 of diamonds.
He's gone 44% here. He's in better shape now, Dixie, than he was before the flop.
If you're going to put a diamond, I'll put a big one up there, so at least I've got a redraw to a split.
Pair the board. Just trying to think. Ace, king, 10. A 4 or
large
6
and
would be a
black.
split pot here.
3 or a diamond.
A 3 for the win. A diamond for the win. Aces, king, 10, 9. That 9 plays, and Phil Curtis sees it and seizes.
Absolutely
it.
nothing.
No, you really can't.
Ah,
did you?
filth all the way through.
Yeah,
the
he's
time.
played well.
All the way
Jesse,
through.
got to give it
Yeah,
to
well,
him.
the ones
You
you had to
watch
put
it,
down
No, he's
because of
played
the
well, and
Filth.
like you
That's
said,
right.
it's a battle of nutrition, wasn't it?
Yeah, first time in this format. Big smile from Phil Curtis.
All right.
Well, Dixie has survived and thrived, but this time, even though the flop had promise, it didn't pan out in the end. And 5 cards play. Pair aces, king, 10, 9. Phil Curtis going through. Some serious firepower in that heat and a lot of attrition, but Phil Curtis comes through. Well done, Phil.
Thanks, Jesse.
See, you're mostly a cash game player as far as TV goes, but you took to this format, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, I've actually, knowing that I was doing this, I've been playing a lot of sit and goes online the last few days just to get used to the format, because I don't really play this kind of format very often.
Well done, Dixie, on your first go here. Commiserations, though, getting second. But the real battle, three-handed, I mean, it went on and on. What were you thinking about?
Well, in the end, I think I got lucky. I outdrew him the first time we were all in, and the second time I happened to be in front of a king, but I was only called because of the chips I had left. It was he was unlucky, really.
It was great. I mean, and
he survived a long time. It was tough to polish him off.
And it was tough to polish him off. Surinder wasn't easy, but
no, I was happy to see Surinder go. I mean, he was unlucky, but I was happy to see him drop off.
And, looking forward to the semifinals.
Yeah,
now?
Absolutely. I haven't looked at the winners so far, but I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Well, Dixie, you got another shot in the turbos. Best of luck, and best of luck to you, Phil.
Yeah. Thanks, Jesse.
Who will join them? We'll see next time at the partypoker.net European Open 4.